Hi, my name is Kat, and I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy done on August 8th, 2018. This is my 13th, 14th week. I will check. It'll be right in the name. I can't believe I can't remember. Uh, but tomorrow is actually my 3 month, and actually today I had my 3 month meeting. But I digress. So my high weight before when I started into the program, which was in February of this year, I weighed 370 pounds at a height of 5'5", and I'm 47 years old. But I lost 50 pounds before my surgery doing a mix of the program that I was supposed to do and keto. I had more success with keto, I'll be completely honest. And cutting out the sugar and the carbs really worked well, and it prepared me for life afterwards, which was the whole idea of the pre-op diet anyway. So I lost 50 pounds before my surgery, so my day of surgery weight was 320. And my current weight is 274.6 pounds. That is a loss for the week of 5 pounds. Yay. And a loss after surgery of 45.4 pounds and a complete loss of 95.4 pounds. I'm very happy. Um, I noticed because I was getting close to my 3 month, and my 3 month was you can eat steak, and I just started eating steak. I felt like I could do it. I had been tolerating everything really well. I haven't had any major serious hiccups. I did have a weight gain, but that was when I couldn't control what I was eating and where it was, and I had some carbs, which I really haven't. I mean, I shouldn't say I haven't had any carbs. I keep my carbs very low. Traditionally, it's less than 10 carbs a day. I'd let myself go as high as 20 or 30 sometimes, but really no, it's about 10 most of the time. And this week I had some really this week after last week's check-in and beginning sort of within that. I usually go to Chipotle on the weekends. My husband and I have a tradition. We've been doing it for years. But now my Chipotle order is give me steak and barbacoa in a bowl with some cheese on top. That's it. I don't have anything else. We usually get a side of guac, and I will have a little. But I get that bowl, and I pay double for the meat. Um, Sometimes they don't charge me double because I'm not getting anything else. But yeah, so I have that, and then that makes up 4 meals because it's 3 lunches and the meal that I eat there. Um, so, for 4 meals, even if I'm paying more, it's not that bad. Um, and it's tasty as all get out. But so that's what I've been having for lunch. And then last week, well, I picked up steak for the first time. I guess it was not not this past Friday, but the Friday before. Picked up steak, and I had picked up a sous vide, and I sous vide steak. I cooked one of them just. I think I did a mix of in the pan, like in the oven and on top. But I realized I have a sous vide. I should use a sous vide, and I made sous vide steak. It was pretty damn good. It came out really well. It was very tender. The nice thing about sous vide is that it should always be exactly the same because you're cooking it in a water bath to a certain temperature. So yeah, I had it set up to do rare, and which is funny because I used to hate rare steak, but now I love rare steak. Um, but I did the sous vide, and then I seared it. And I will tell you that I got, what is the name of this thing? Um, an a Novo sous vide. And I picked it up on Prime Day super cheap. It was like the prime deal, prime day, deal of the day. Well, prime day was like a week or something. It was insane. But for one of the days, it was the deal of the day. So it's like $175 sous vide, and I got it for like $50, I think. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it was 75, but it was insanely cheap for what it was. And the nice thing is it's got an app built in. So it's got pretty much everything you can think of already in the app. So I just say steak medium or steak rare, hit it, and then it sends the information to the unit, and it's all set up and ready to go. So I'm actually going for the first time in, oh goodness gracious, um, wow, 6 weeks, I think, maybe more. Well, this is the first support group that I'm going to. That's got to be more than that. That's like 7 or 8 weeks. This is the first time I'm going to support group, and it's mainly because it was right. The first one in October was right before a trip, like the day before a trip, and I was not ready for the trip. So I'm like, I could go to support group, or I could be ready to leave when I need to leave. So I chose to leave when I needed to leave. And then the one before, I had a big event that I was planning for, and it was that week, and things were crazy, and I just was like, yeah, I'm not going. Um, I get a mixed thing from the support group, and the same thing for my 3-month group. Yes, I cheated. I released myself to the regular eating plan, because I'm like, God damn it, I want steak. So and that steak, like, oh sorry, started talking about something and then got completely. So adding the steak in, I had made the steak, and then adding the steak in for dinner, and then later it was like, because I get 3 lunches out of the barbacoa or the Chipotle, because it's steak in there too. I ate the other meals for steak, and I was having it for dinner, and I just had a lot of steak. So basically, I was eating uh, sausage and cheese for breakfast, steak and barbacoa for cheese for lunch, and then for dinner was steak. Um, and it was good. It was solid. I felt very full. I didn't really feel the need to eat more than that. I'm like, okay, full, steak, full, good. And I was seeing a lot of drops, like that 5 pounds. That 5 pounds, I was losing 0.6 like every day last week that I did that. I didn't lose as much on the weekends. In fact, I don't think I lost anything. Uh, Saturday and Sunday, sometimes I lose a little bit because I weigh in late, and, like I've peed several times or whatever before I get up, and then I, have a very delayed meal. Like I don't have my 9 o'clock meal. I usually only have 2 meals on Saturday and Sunday, which is fine for me. I don't really mind it. And it doesn't seem to be, like it seems to accelerate the weight loss. But yeah, I was really happy. Like last week, I was like dropping, because I had been like tiny little bits, and then it was started to drop pretty quickly. So I'm very happy with that. I have not been losing as much this week, but like this starting, when I say this week, I'm like starting on Monday. I haven't been losing as much this week. I had lost a little on Monday. Yesterday and today have pretty much been stable. But that's fine, like 5 pounds in a week. That's a great amount of weight loss. I really want to get to that 100 pounds though. I really, really want to get to that 100 pounds. So I'm currently sous videing steak. And that will be my dinner tonight. And then it'll probably be most of what I eat for the rest of the week. If I get a little, I'll be off, we had picked up bacon for the first time at Costco. Costco's thick cut bacon is wonderful. I highly recommend that you bake it. I've started baking bacon, and it makes a great amount of difference in the sense that it stays flat instead of all shriveled up. It's like I'd make bacon in a pan, and I just basically have bacon balls. That was just, or shards, bacon shards too. But also the thickness of that, it stays thick. It gets so good. It tasted as my husband said, it tastes very bacony. And it's like, well, no kidding. It's thick. You know, like you're biting through bacon. It doesn't just like usually when you bite in bacon, it just breaks into little million pieces in your mouth. Like you just, if it's crisp, you go and it's like, oh, I'm gone. It disintegrates. This is bacon. Highly recommend it. I know that for my program, and even for bariatric keto, I'm doing it all wrong. Like I eat much more fat than I'm supposed to, but it's freaking working. And I think it's right, and it keeps me satiated, and I'm not going to argue with that. My program specifically doesn't have a protein amount because they don't want you drinking protein shakes just to hit that amount of protein. So, like I do try, like I eat meat and cheese pretty much like sometimes I don't eat cheese, but I eat meat at every meal, 3 meals a day, trying not to do snacks. Occasionally I'm going out to group, which means I'm going to eat my dinner late, like 2 hours late. So I had a slice of bacon left over from what I had cooked. It was very good, and it's going to keep me until I get back. But I'm not going to feel guilty about that. I think, they say, oh, I'm in the honeymoon period, so I could eat anything. I could eat Twinkies and probably lose weight. I don't want to do that. I want to lose it right, but I know how keto worked for my body before I had the surgery. I know my body is different now, but I'm still eating solid protein. I'm getting all my vitamins in, and it is a collection of vitamins. But I tend to do, I keep everything the amount away from each other, Like I do the timing that I'm supposed to do, but I do just the timing because I found that if I do anything after I get home from work, that can happen. I just forget. It's not, like it doesn't matter where it is. It doesn't matter what I have to remind me. I forget. Once I get home from work, my brain freaking turns off. And what's funny is on the weekends, I can totally get it in. And I really have only once, and it was during that day that I had that huge thing where I was away from the house all day. And there was like one set of pills. I wasn't away from the house all day. I left the house at like 11 o'clock. I had most of my vitamins before then. I had 2 vitamins I was supposed to take while I was out. Did not take them. But on the whole, not a problem. I get, I'll do it on the weekends, and I'll even do them later on the weekends because everything's pushed back because I don't get up. But the vitamins have been, pretty well, but I'm done with them by 4:15. By 4:15, I take my last ones, if not a little earlier. I make sure that they're, hour between this and that, and 2 hours between that, and I did the math, and I put it into my app, and I use it, and it works really well, and I'm very happy with it. So I feel like I've got that taken care of, and I do have probably more sweets than I should have. I am actually, I'll show you. I have one of them here. I am fond of 2 sweets right now, and I try not to have more than a serving. So the Evolved Eating Coconut Butter Cups. This one is the peppermint flavor. I like that. I like all 3. There's 3 different flavors of cups. There may be another one, but I have not seen it in person. This is definitely a keto thing because it doesn't have a lot of protein. It has some protein, but it's mostly fat. But it's not super sweet. So if you're thinking, oh, it's like because it kind of looks like it's a peanut butter cup, there is none of them are flavored peanut butter. One is just sort of straight up coconut. One is sea salt caramel, which is I love it, But calling it sea salt caramel is not the best, and this is a very subtle mint. But it gives me that feeling of having, like, growing up, I had dessert after lunch and dinner. It was just the way my family did it. We'd have a little ice cream and peaches. We'd have a little, usually ice cream and something. So, I don't, there's no actual sugar in here. I think there's some erythritol. Not quite sure. Oh, this says it has organic coconut sugar. That is not the best thing because that is actual sugar. I should pay attention to this. I did pay attention to it. Oh, there's 5 grams of sugar. It's 8 grams of total. Yeah, it's 5 net carbs for 1 cup. And honestly, it's worth it for me. I have that, and it tastes good. The other thing that I really like is Lily's caramelized and salted milk chocolate. It's stevia sweetened, and it's got a kick. The salt gives it a serious kick. It is a little bit more carbs for the it's 4 net carbs for half of this bar. There we go. Sometimes I just can't figure out how the camera works. I never eat half of this bar. There's like 5 pieces in a row, and then there's like 5 or 6 rows. I'm not quite sure. I usually just stamp off a row and eat the row, and that's like a third or a fourth of the size of the size of the serving, and I'm happy. It feels like I'm eating chocolate. And honestly, a lot of these sweets and like Zevia soda and all of that stuff, if I had them, and some of them I did. I had like I was a Dr. Pepper fiend, actually Diet Dr. Pepper fiend, and I weaned off of that. And I thought, well, I'm going to replace it with Dr. Zevia. I tried Dr. Zevia immediately, and I'm like, this stuff is garbage. This is awful. No crap. Not going to drink it. Whatever. So I stopped drinking any of the carbonated sodas for a while, and I'm back drinking them a little bit, and I try to really moderate it, and I also let them go flat because it's the carbonation that's not good for me. But with all of these Zevia flavors, I think I like the flavors that I like now because there was a break between, and probably with the chocolates as well, because there was a break between when I was drinking Dr. Pepper and when I started drinking Dr. Zevia. I think you go straight from one to the other. No, you take a break, your tongue sort of forgets what sugar tastes like, or doesn't remember entirely. Your head remembers, but your tongue doesn't. If you still have the taste on your tongue, you are not going to like it. But without that, with that space, it's pretty damn good. My husband, meanwhile, has gotten obsessed with the mason jar keto ice cream. It's made him very happy. And you know what? I'm happy that he's happy. It's basically a cup of heavy whipping cream, 2 tablespoons of granular sweetener of some kind. And if you're doing chocolate, it's 1 thing of cocoa, 1 tablespoon of cocoa. 1 thing is not a followable recipe, cat. 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and then you can put Lily's chocolate chips in if you want. Then you put the top on and you shake it for 5 minutes and you freeze it for 4 to 5 hours or more. He's gotten obsessed with this, and he does all kinds of flavors. He tries it out, and he keeps notes on his recipes and stuff like that. I like it. I love the idea that I can have ice cream that we make, and we get the heavy whipping cream at Costco, so it's pretty affordable. I find that I can't have more than a couple of spoonfuls before the heavy whipping cream really is coating my tongue, and it'll even coat the spoon that it's frozen on, and it just feels a little bit much. But he will goddamn devour those mason jars full of ice cream. And he has little post-it notes in the freezer so he remembers what the mix is, because he hasn't figured out a way to label them. You think he's trying out like dry erase markers on the lid to see if that works, but it's adorable. He's having fun. It's tasty. Um, and it's a good thing. So anyway, um, I feel weird because I'm in this room and I've got blue light from the monitor on my face, which is why I am such a weird shade. But the rest of the room is natural light. This is the first time that I've had to, because of the time change, had to use a light in the room. Usually I've got sunlight coming in from outside and I just use that. So I think I may have to invest in a ring light around the camera or something. But anyway, I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well. I highly recommend steak, apparently, and also Lily's chocolate and the Evo cups are good. I get them both at Whole Foods. I know they're not in all of the Whole Foods, but they're in some of them. So, um, if you are doing a keto style um, bariatric lifestyle, I would love to talk to you about that. So anyway, I hope you're having a good week, and I'll talk to you soon.